All right, everyone, so we're going to go over how to hold bags, which is the body shield, focus mitts, and sometimes a floppy. And most amount of injuries happen when a person doesn't know how to actually hold the bag correctly. But before I even get into the technical aspect of how to do it, I want to make sure that people understand that holding the bag is not an inactive move. It's a very active move. That means I'm just as involved as you kicking. I'm not standing there taking a break. Okay? I'm learning how to breathe, I'm learning how to get hit, and in my mind, the conversation in my mind every time you hit me is, you can't hurt me. Doesn't matter how hard you hit, you cannot hurt me. I'm not going to go against you, but I'm going to hold it back, but it's being an active partner. I'm not standing and taking a break. So the way we hold these bags is from here like this. So one hand goes through one, I'm going to grab both of them right in my forearm. Okay? Depending to what kick he does. For right now, let's say he's doing a front kick or side kick, something straight on. So if this is my right arm, I want to have my right lead. Right foot forward from here. I'm going to put this down. My left hand, I have a choice between here and here. I personally like no thumb grip, the top one, and bending my forearm, because this is my first protection, this is my second protection. If you go like this and the person happens to hit hard, you can actually hit yourself with your own hand. Okay, so I hold them like this, and I grab the top, no thumb, and I bend it from here. So again, fighting stance, hands up to your face. So the first thing I look for is make sure, there you go. If I'm holding the bag for you, I'm kind of playing a mini coach. I'm just not standing there, just gonna, okay, it's your turn, right? So I'm gonna say, okay, get back up a little, make sure you look in my eyes, right? Because you don't want to look at the target, you want to look in my eyes. So go ahead and do a front kick, go. Notice every time I get hit, I breathe out. Okay, and I don't push against him, right? There's some schools of thoughts of that, but right now let's stick to just standing there. Because if he starts kicking, I'm going to pull back a little bit. If he kicks and I pull back, what happens, he can hyperextend his knee, right? So be very careful. I do this often as a habit. If I want to kick someone, my first couple are very light. Then I go a little bit harder, then 4 and 5 gets the hardest, then I go up. Because I want to make sure you know how to hold the bag. Because the last thing I want is to hit somebody hard and they move back in the middle of it. Or maybe I just don't know them, right? So again, here, bending my knees, front kick. There you go, good. Again. So every time I'm getting hit, I'm doing mental sit-ups. I know it sounds kind of strange, but this is a concept I've learned from Ernie Reyes Jr. So my stomach, every time you hit me, I'm tightening my stomach is tight. So I'm tightening it at the same time, then I release it. Tighten it and go back again. Go. Good. That's what I mean by being an active. I am training just as hard as you are. I'm training my midsection of my core. I'm looking at my eye contact. I'm not looking around. I'm like straight focus on you. You kick me. There you go. Good. Now if I take it out, let's say we're switching. So I pull my hand, turn, and I would offer it to you. Make sure you have it on before I even start. So this is how you hold the body shield. That's great. Okay. So now let's go on to focus mitts. So focus mitts is another story. Same idea. I think a lot of people, the way I was taught and the exposure that I got from focus mitts is that when you hold the focus mitts for someone, the person who has to focus is holding the focus mitts, not necessarily hitting it, which tells me that listening is much more difficult than talking and speaking, right? So I want to make sure I'm focused at the same time, right? I personally think when you hold focus mitts, the person who holding it is getting just as much benefit, if not more, than the person hitting it. All right, so go back, fighting stance. So let's say we're just doing a basic jab cross. I know there's schools of thought about jab going across, hit this one, or versus jab straight. That's more of a personal preference. However you choose to do it, that's wonderful. But we just right now, we just want to make sure we hold the focus mitts correctly. So I want to make sure I don't hold the focus mitts in front of my face, right? Because boom, I'm going to get hit, right? Biggest thing in holding the focus mitts for someone is that I would never stand in front of someone this one. Because right now he can touch me, I can touch him. So the biggest idea here is, back up please. Now I'm going to hold the focus mitt, because in order for him to hit me, he has to step. So there you go. Do you see that? Back up. There you go. Good. I don't want ever to do any drills that make us this close, because this is a matter of who's going to hit faster. And there's always going to be some punk who's going to be faster. So I don't want to play the speed game. I want to out-technique people, not outspeed people necessarily. So it's very important for me when you hold the focus mitts, we're that far. So again, I'm holding the focus mitts. I'm a mini coach, so I'm going to make sure I don't stand here for you. I'm going to stand here. And I'm going to go, okay, do a jab, good, do a cross, good, do a hook. There you go, and get out there. There you go. Don't talk to me while you're here. Okay? This is not, I don't personally think this is a good idea. I don't ever want to be in a distance where I can touch you, you can touch me. Okay? So these are the basic way we hold the body shape. A floppy will be the same thing basically. You're holding it straight on, it will be the same thing. One more comment about holding it for a roundhouse kick, and that's, notice, I'm going to go to my left side. From here, he's going to do a right roundhouse kick. I see some people do it this way, like they go opposite. They go like this. I don't particularly like this because I can't see him. You could do it this way, right? But I preferably like, again, right foot back, holding it here, same way, turning it. If he happens to kick higher or lower, for the lower one, I would just hold there for leg kicks like this. Just make sure you turn the leg bent. For the higher one, I grab here, grab the bottom one, and bend my knees. Notice from here, it's the same thing as I would block, right? So hold the bag this way. I would not recommend you holding it like this or this high, just an uncomfortable way of doing it, all right? So it's better to hold it here, like this. And again, my conversations when you're doing this is, you can't hurt me. Not with an attitude, it's not like, you know, but I'm training, the biggest distinction here is, I'm training just as hard as you are. This is not my break time, all right? So this will be the basic way for us to hold the bags.